couple of weeks ago, we had hundreds of gamers turn up here for the E-League One Tour qualifiers, and after a tough session, 8 emerged top. The best 8 FIFA 23 gamers will be going head-to-head tonight. So who will be crowned the champion tonight and win a fully paid trip to France, courtesy of League One Uber Eats? And by the end of the night, we will know that. We will know who the winner is, and I can't wait to just see how it goes down. Everything has been set up. As you can see, a very good setup waiting our gamers, and we can't wait to see how it turns out. So let's be honest about one thing. There's been an incredible growth of esports across the world. It's a $1 billion industry. And right now, thanks to IndexG and other people who are now also investors who are jumping on board, Kenya has not been left behind. Once again, IndexG, I will keep on mentioning IndexG because this, for me, I've been a broadcaster for more than 10 years, a sports broadcaster, for just seeing this going on, especially for the young people, the Gen Z. I'm seeing so many of you in the audience. It's an honor, it's a pleasure to just see how you are getting involved in the sports world through the esports. So once again, congratulations IndexG for this amazing event. I would also love to take the opportunity to mention other partners and just thanking them for their support. The venue partner, Alliance Francaise, the French Embassy, video games equipment distributor Vivid Gold, Unplug Africa, and energy drink partner Red Bull. Asanteni sana. So let's just quickly jump in, and I want to introduce our panel of the evening so that we can better understand the rising world of esports, why Kenya we are jumping on board, and why we are also asking investors to come on board, because it's our time, and it's the time for esports, it's the time for the young ones. And I keep on saying this, and I think I've told you that, Ronny, this is the way we can bridge the gap to Gen Z and just get to interact with Gen Z and everyone who loves gaming. So quickly on our panel, let me introduce Elias Onchari, who's a pro gamer, karibu sana, Margery Remour from Vivid Gold, and Ronny Lusigi from the he is the CEO of IndexG. Karibuni sana. So let's just quickly jump in, and I will start with you, Elias, because you are a pro gamer, and I've just talked about the tremendous growth of esports across the world, and now we are seeing it in Kenya in terms of participation, viewership, and a bit of revenue here and there. As a pro gamer, what are your thoughts on this?
Thank you so much, Shon, for coming here today, and all of you for coming here for the esports games today, as we crown the winner to go to France. So esports in the country is one thing that is growing at a very fast pace. For the past few years, we've had major events that have happened here in Kenya. Like last year, we had 3 major events to note about. We had a winner go to the Commonwealth Esports Championships. We had last year's winner of the E-League One Tour, that's Fox, that's here with us. And we also had the Global Esports Games, of which we were fortunate to take 2 teams. That was the e-football category and the Dota 2 females team. So in Kenya, esports it's growing, and this year has started on a very high note. This is just one of the many tournaments, many events that will come, that will have gamers go participate internationally. And the exposure is something that is very beneficial to all the gamers that are here, because most of the audience here are gamers that I've interacted with, and most of them, seeing such events, will only motivate them to come here and even go back home, so that they are in this position for the next tournaments. Yeah.
Wonderful. Margery, let me just also throw that question to you about the rise of esports in Kenya, and also as the distributor of the equipment, what this means for you and what this means for Vivid Gold.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity as well. Basically, as Vivid Gold, our main target, first of all, is to deliver happiness to the gamers. Because also, people underestimate that most gamers are youngsters, and also it improves their mental growth in terms of intellectual activities, skills. So to be a part of encouraging such skills and nurturing the young ones, and also the Gen Zs, because also they're open-minded. We have to be open to also understand that gaming is not just for fun or leisure, it's educative. So yeah, also you want your child to be fast in terms of calculating, even the action adventure games like FIFA is a skill game. We have seen so many players internationally, they're getting paid. So it's something that you can earn from. So yeah, and personally as a female, I am really excited to be in such an industry because I meet a lot of female gamers as well, which encourages me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also met some female gamers and I was really excited. So yeah, that is such a good thing when I see other females just jump on these opportunities. Ronny, the numbers were massive when it came to the registration process of this year's E-League One, tour qualifiers. I know I saw the numbers and I was just shocked. And also the people who turned up for the qualifiers were in their hundreds. Talk to us about these numbers, the growing interest, what it means for IndexG and the whole esports fraternity as a whole in Kenya.
Thank you very much, Shon. And as you rightfully say, we had a huge turnout 2 weeks ago here at Alliance Française. I'd say it's the record number of participants we've seen in a single tournament turn up for a single day, because we had 264 participants turn up. But also, we had 586 register. So also for us, it's a challenge to know where this 200 plus went to, why they didn't come. And it really explains why we got into this space, because we, as IndexG Sports, we see the huge talent and passion that is for video gaming in Kenya. You walk in our hood, in the urban centers, and you'll see very many PlayStation shops. You'll see many people playing on their phones. So we really wanted to create opportunities for these people to turn their passion into something meaningful that they can use for social change, like sports is being used. People use football to fight crime, drug abuse. It's also our mission to see people use gaming to do that, and also just to provide this opportunity for our gamers who are skilled to go to international competitions, and to also provide the opportunity for corporates and brands looking to get in touch with these young people, even the policymakers, as an avenue for them to reach this Gen Z that you've mentioned.
And now let me go back to you, Elias, and let's just talk about the potential of esports in Kenya. And from your experience, have Kenyans, apart from just Gen Z, but also the parents and everyone, have they embraced esports, or do we still have a bit of a long way to go?
We've come a long way from where we were a few years ago, but we've made major strides in esports development in the country. Like today, you can't even sit in a matatu without seeing somebody playing like a game. PUBG, there's Candy Crush. So we have gamers all over the world, all over the country. It's up to us to bring them forward, to make them participate in such tournaments. And I'm sure events like this will grow the future stars that we shall have here in Kenya. So I'd also love to thank the sponsors. The sponsors play a major part in the growth of the esports industry, like Vivid Gold doing a wonderful job with the PlayStations that they are giving gamers, so that in different tournaments we had problems where you find gamers coming and the controllers were not as good enough as other tournaments. But in this particular event, all the controllers were really good. The televisions are also top tier, and it gives gamers a good experience, so that in maybe future events they are easily persuaded to come, because they know even if they don't have a controller, they'll have a controller to play with. So even people at home who have not yet ventured into the esports industry know if they come to such events, they will have the best equipment, and they will be at par with everyone. They won't be disadvantaged because of the equipment that they don't have, say like the pro gamers have, because all the equipment is the same. Yeah. So as we move forward, the strides we have taken, as I said, are very big, but we still have some way to go. We have so many gamers that are not yet confident in themselves. So as I said, tournaments like this only act as bridging the gap with such gamers. As they see other stars rising up, we hope that it will challenge them to also come forward, even in the future events.
And Margery, I've just heard about that, the sophisticated equipment that is needed for esports. Why is it important for investors to put their coin in esports at the moment, especially here in the country?
For us to give you that platform, to have the equipment, and not just any equipment, but high quality, because also in terms of gaming, they always get challenges if the controllers are not working properly. We wouldn't want to bring like a barrier for the player to have an issue when they are playing there, like the analog is drifting. Such features are also, they're not good for the company if you bring low quality products to such tournaments. So we value our brand, we value the name, and also we value the service that we give. Because if you're not happy as the gamer and also the client or the customer, definitely we'll get bad reviews. Yeah, and we want to be the best, not only in Kenya, but worldwide. And that's where we're aiming for. Yeah, we want it to be big esports, yeah.
And now to Ronny, I know we are talking about also those barriers in the esports industry, internet connectivity, sophisticated equipment, which is quite costly. I just want you to speak as IndexG to investors out there why it is important to invest in the esports industry, and how can Kenyan investors literally jump on this billion-dollar industry? Because we've seen outside the African continent how the money is flowing both for the gamers. Gamers outside there actually live way better lives than people who go to the normal offices. We've seen that. I'm a huge fan of watching gamers on the Twitch stream, and you can just tell how crazy that is. And I would love to see that for these youngsters who are over here. These guys are supposed to be millionaires right now as we speak with their level of talent. Talk to just the investors out there and why it is important and why we have to sing this song till they get on board.
Yeah, sure. And it's important for us to have partners and investors, as you said, Shon, because we can't be able to do this on our own. So I'd really say it's a two-pronged. One, the business sense, because we must make a business case to these institutions. And two, as I've said, is the social part of it. So just to repeat on the social part, that we should come into this because this is an avenue to impact the youth. This is an avenue to increase the levels of digital literacy. This is an avenue to offer employment. This is an avenue to encourage innovation. This is an avenue to combat drug abuse and crime. And also from a business perspective, we are seeing the changing trends in consumers and how people are spending their money. PwC said Kenyans spend close to 5 billion annually in online microtransactions of these video games. So if I'm a bank, I really need to look at where am I fitting in these microtransactions that are being made. If I'm a fast food or I'm an energy drink like Red Bull, or I sell soft drinks, this is a market that I want to look to and grow with it. You see, if I'm a service provider for television sets like TCL, if I'm a video game equipment distributor like Vivid Gold, it's really important for me to create loyalty with this, because it can be the difference between your mobile phone having sales in the country and them not having sales. Because if you touch that mobile phone video gamers community, it is an increase in your sales. If you touch that video game community and you're a TV service provider, you're selling more hardware. So I really say there's a lot for people in business to get into in terms of esports and video gaming in general. And it's also an avenue for them to impact people socially.
And I can't wait to see the ones who now get the message, because I know the message is very clear about investment. And I'm just thinking of these companies. I think now is the time to actually jump on board. Let me come back to you, Elias, and just on a light note, talk to us about your experience personally as a pro gamer and some of the most played esports games on the platforms and all that, just taking us, the viewers, through everything.
So my experience as a gamer is one that's very unique. I didn't grow up with the sophisticated machines like we said, the PlayStations. So like most of the gamers here in Kenya, I'd go to video gaming arcades. That's where I would meet. It was actually a social activity for us. When we were free, we would meet with gamers. in my hood in Kangemi. So it kept us from small vices, first of all, like other bad things that people would engage in during the break, school breaks. For us, we will take that time and play video games. So it is something that, if taken up seriously, can really push things, can really push the vices out of the community. And in the sense of where the world is going with these sports, like last year we had Dota 2. It had a prize pool of over $32 million. So such figures are figures that cannot be ignored. And being a giant in Africa, it is very prompt that Kenya is doing such events. It's hosting such very big events. Like, we are one of the few countries that were given the season 2 qualifiers of the E-League 1. Some countries were dropped. So it shows that Kenya is doing something right, and we are headed in the right direction. Here in Kenya, we've had very prominent people already getting endorsements abroad, like Queen Arrow. Queen Arrow was in the Forbes list. She's also in the 40 under 40. Yesterday she was awarded just from gaming. We have Brian the Beast, who's an African esports ambassador. And these are all people from here in Kenya. So it shows there's something that is happening in Kenya. There's something that is good with the esports scene. And we just hope investors such as the Vivid Gold, such as Red Bull, and even other stakeholders such as Safaricom continue doing what they're doing for the esports scene. And I'm sure it will even grow more than it has.
Margery, what next for Vivid Gold when it comes to the Kenyan esports industry? What next for Vivid Gold when it comes to the Kenyan esports industry?
First of all, we're a women-led company. So we'd like to encourage female gamers as well to come in, more of them. There are a few that are there, but also we'd like to pave way for them as well to break the notion that females can do certain things, like gaming and all that. But we have seen, like Elias has mentioned, Queen Arrow. She's one of the best female gamers as well. The ladies who are competing in the E-League as well. You can see they are driven, they're spirited, and also it gives us a platform as Vivid Gold to also encourage young gamers, even also the co-ed kind of tournaments, which are good. Because also when you're competing with fellow gamers, be it male or female, the tournaments grow internationally. That's why IndexG is here, to also nurture them and also help us as distributors to reach out to the ones who are not able to have such equipments like the PlayStations. Yeah, because not everyone can afford it. Yeah, so we'd like such initiatives to continue to also grow the young ones. Yeah, and also encourage each and everyone in this industry. And I'd love to see esport grow beyond Kenya, Africa, because it's big internationally. So we'd like to have our own tournaments and also like invite international players as well. Yeah.
I would really love to say that. As we wrap up, Ronny, what's the future like for IndexG and just the plans you have for the gamers in the Kenyan esports industry?
Yeah, so quickly, Shon, really our biggest mission, and we've started it with this competition, is to break the barriers of entry into participation in esports. So going forward, all IndexG tournaments shall be free to participate in, just to ensure that everyone who has that talent, everyone who has that ability can come forward and play. Secondly, we are also really pushing to build the capacity of the local esports actors. Those are the gamers themselves, the people in production, the people in video game development, and all those. And fourthly is to also push for the awareness of esports, especially to the policymakers and to the corporate world. So those are the areas we shall be focusing on in the near future. Thank you, Shon.
Thank you so much, the three of you, for just joining us on the panel. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, you've gotten a sense. I know there are so many gamers, so they understand the industry, but also the business side, because that is what we're chasing, to make sure these youngsters are sorted out, and these youngsters can also have an easy time when they're pursuing their passion. So thank you so much, Elias, a pro gamer, Onchari. Thank you, Margery Remour from Vivid Gold, and Ronny Lusigi, CEO of IndexG Sports. Asanteni sana. Now we move on as we continue here at the Alliance Francaise. It's such a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you. It's such a wonderful evening. And there was so much happening here. But let me just do a quick introduction first of the gamers, and then we can continue with the program. They will have to come here. I know some of them are shy. I talked to them, but yeah, the stage is yours. It's time to market you the top 8. So let me just mention as you guys come forward. So let's start with Kimaru. Who is Kimaru? Just come forward. Everyone just come forward. Then Kimaru, Dimon, Dero, Mbepa, Kappa, Taliban. I love the names. Pork Chop and Kamzi. I love the names. You guys will just have to come. We have to show you off a bit. I can see you guys. You're over there. Just come. These are the top 8. Welcome, everyone. These are the top 8 who will be taking part in tonight's event. It's such a pleasure to meet you guys. So these are the top 8. All we can say is congratulations, even as you heard. I know we'll have one winner, but you guys coming this far, we congratulate you for what you're doing for the Kenyan esports industry.